Yo. So it's come to my attention that apparently WrestleMania is now 70 days away, bro. And I'm gonna be honest,
I'm not feeling it.
like you're telling me we over 30 days away from wrestling's equivalent to a Super Bowl, and nothing is prepared from WWE side. Apparently, they are still unsure on what they want to do with their show that's labeled the granddaddy of them all. People will say that they miss Vince and everything. I don't know why you would say that, because look at the man's track record, look at his recent body cam footage. But I understand from a booking standpoint, as senile and stuck in his ways as that crazy ass old man was, at least he had a plan for Mania, if not before, then after the Royal Rumble. But under Triple H and TKO, we don't know what the fuck is going on. They haven't even sold out the tickets yet. Look at this. Look how many empty seats that is, bro. Like, what are we doing right now at WrestleMania? But I think I have a way to where if I had the pen, I would do this with Mania. So let me have a go at it real quick. So I'm planning on doing two videos of this, one for the women's side and then one for the men's side. And the reason I want to do that is because, in my opinion, I believe this Mania has the opportunity to be the most women's matches in Mania history. And I've calculated it to be about maybe 7 or 8 matches in total if things are done right. So first off, I want to get the obvious ones out the way. We have Liv Morgan against Stephanie Vercare for the women's world title. Now, in my opinion, I believe this match should have a stipulation to it, with Liv being humiliated during that interview by Stephanie, and then she rocks Stephanie on Raw. In my opinion, I believe that the champion would suffer more humiliation by tapping out in the match. And I know people are saying, oh, but Liv doesn't have a submission hold in her arsenal. Bro, she busts out new moves every other match. I'm pretty sure she can handle doing a new submission to make Stephanie give up. And Stephanie herself had a few submissions in her arsenal, so this shouldn't be too bad. I expect it to be a good match if it's a submission match. If it's a regular match, then that's fine, but I would love to see a submission match between these two. Next, we have the women's world title, and I'm going to make a video in the future on a hot takes video, and one of the hot takes in that video will probably include Jade being world champion, because in my opinion, she shouldn't have been champion just yet, because it was, what, 70 plus days before she defended her title? And even that match with Jordan Grace, while it was good, what is next? Because, and this video is being recorded the Friday before Elimination Chamber, so I don't know the winner, but if you watch wrestling enough, you know Rhea's winning this match. Because look at this match. Look at it right here. Who do you think is going to win this? Asuka? No, I have a plan for Asuka down the line. Alexa? No, I have a plan for Alexa as well. Kiana? Man, don't even mention Kiana, bro. Everyone else, no, it's going to be Rhea, and it's going to be Rhea and versus Jade at Mania, because what else can you really expect from this company, bro? The SmackDown Women's Division is on life support right now. It needs some serious fucking help. And the fact that it's going to take a Raw women's superstar in order to help out this case, I don't really fuck with that, but when you look at the current landscape of the SmackDown Women's roster, you don't really have anybody to face Jade at Mania other than maybe Charlotte, but she's not in the chamber, so it wouldn't even matter whether or not she goes after Jade. You had this altercation with Charlotte and Jade on Friday, but yet you won't have Charlotte in the chamber. I'm not knocking Kiana, because like it was a good surprise for her to win the match, but why have that face off if we're not even gonna lead into it at Mania? But whatever. Rhea versus Jade is gonna happen. Will Rhea win? I don't know. People are saying we're waiting for Bianca to come back, but let's call it what it is. Bianca's not coming back for a whole nother year, bro. Her finger is still looking like this, and she's not ready to come back. So Rhea versus Jade, that's what I think is gonna happen. Now for the tag titles, I know what I just said with Rhea and Jade, but I personally believe that, and again, this is recorded before SmackDown, so maybe I'm wrong in this situation, but I believe Nia and Lash will win the tag titles tonight on SmackDown and beat Io and Rhea, leading them into a tag title match against the Bella Twins. And yeah, I know people are not really big fans of the Bella Twins coming back, but do I really want to see the Bella Twins be women's tag champions in the big 2026? No, I do not. I just don't care for all that. But the Bellas versus Nia and Lash, and then we gotta throw in Lyra Bailey in there, bro. Because they haven't been on TV in a minute. They're just going in a circle, constantly complaining to Adam Pearce about, oh, we want a tag title shot. And Bailey's just what the fuck happened to Bailey and her split personality disorder, bro? Like that shit is not even a thing anymore. Maybe it is, and I'm not paying attention, but Lyra and Bailey versus the Bella Twins versus Nia and Lash for tag titles is the match I see happening. Will another tag team be thrown in there? Maybe from NXT, I'm not so sure, but right now, that's what I see. As for the women's IC title, there's only one match that's going to be. It's going to be Becky versus AJ. I love what they were doing with keeping Becky and AJ kind of separate, but also in the same match. It was a mixed tag match, and then AJ costing Becky, and then in War Games together, that was cool and everything, but Becky literally raised baited herself into a match with AJ for the title. AJ didn't say anything. AJ didn't do anything. Becky just got tight because she saw AJ down the hall and like, oh shit, fuck this bitch. You know what? No, I want to fuck you up, but I also want to give you a title match because you don't deserve one. But yeah, so that match that's happening at Mania. I believe that that match at Chamber will end in a DQ. So that's how it's gonna be. Now for the women's US title, it's probably going to be Io and Julia. Now again, having Raw superstars come to SmackDown and save the brand, I hate that because this all could have been solved if they had a fucking draft. If WWE just had a draft and had new people on SmackDown, this would have been so much better. Because who do you got on SmackDown? You got Jade, who's a tweener, Alexa and Charlotte are faces, Nia and Lash are heels, B-Fab and Michin, they're not even contenders for the women's title. Let's be honest. They're not probable contenders. Those are both faces, but to face Julia, Mia, and B-Fab were already in the title scene. That's fucking boring. Chelsea Green, the best part of the whole division, is injured. Alba Fire is a fucking jobber when she should be treated like Candice LeRae, who's also a fucking jobber, but they both should be prominent like contenders for the world title because they can still fucking go, by the way. They're not jobbers, so I don't know what the hell WWE is doing with that. But the landscape of the SmackDown Women's division sucks right now, and if Io and Rhea guys save it by contending for their titles on SmackDown, then so be it. But Io versus Julia is gonna be a good match. Do I see Io winning? I don't know, because then she'll probably be drafted to SmackDown. But I know they'll probably run the match back in Julia's hometown. If you didn't know, by the way, she's Italian. They say she was raised in the UK, but she was born in Italy, but she wrestled in Japan. It's a lot of different countries right there, but they're probably gonna run it back in Italy. So Io versus Julia is a match I see happening. Instead of like the inevitable turning on Charlotte and Alexa, I want it to be like this. Remember back in 2005 when Eddie and Rey Mysterio were tag team champions and they had some sort of friendly competition at WrestleMania and all throughout like the spring and the fall and the summer? That's kind of what I want. So instead of them being heels, I want them to capitalize on the whole Charlotte is fine storyline. So we have Alexa losing the Chamber, obviously. Charlotte kind of losing confidence in herself, but Alexa challenging her to a match at WrestleMania to kind of give Charlotte her groove back. Now, going forward, I would like to see Alexa and Charlotte have match after match after match with a story being built there that Alexa is always the one who wins. I want Charlotte to just become a bitch heel again. Like, as much as I love her and Alexa tag team together, I would like to see more of Alexa just going over Charlotte and Charlotte slow descent into madness that she can't beat Alexa. She can get the job done everywhere else, but she can't beat Alexa. That's what I like to see, like Eddie Guerrero, Rey Mysterio shit. Now I know the story between Rey and Eddie, that only went so far because we had Dominic involved, and that's why it got to where it was. But for this, maybe don't go as long. Like Ray and Eddie last from April all the way to October. Don't do that much. That's too much. Let's just say maybe till Money in the Bank, and then Alexa cost Charlotte the contract or vice versa, and then Charlotte just fucking snaps from there. That's what I'd like to see. And then finally, Asuka and Kyrie. It just kind of cut and dry, really. You have the mentor versus the mentee. Asuka loses the title, loses the chamber match, blames Kyrie, fucks her up, and then boom. Match Kyrie and Asuka because Kyrie's tired of the bullshit, and then that's it. Who wins the match? Kyrie, obviously. Asuka, honestly, Asuka is just like she's like the veteran on the brand at this point. She doesn't really need to do anything but just be a heel, and that's it. But I believe those matches will happen at Mania. Maybe not in a stipulation I wanted, like with Liv and Stephanie being in a submission match, but everything else will probably happen because WWE, again, we are 7 weeks out and they don't know what the fuck they're doing. Once again, I'm recording this before Chamber, so I could be wrong on a lot of these. The video will probably go out the week after Chamber, but you know, let me know what your predictions are. Let me know if you agree with my predictions or not. You don't have to, just based on your opinion. But like I said, that's all for me. Hope you have a good evening, afternoon, day, night, whenever you see this video. And just remember, I appreciate your existence, and I hope you enjoy WrestleMania.